The hero went deep into the city of illusions, where everyone wore masks. He walked its streets, he marveled at its splendor, its magic, its charms, and gradually fell under its spell. He too wanted to join the general rejoicing. And so the hero ordered for himself a mask of laughter, which only emphasized the sadness in his eyes. But then he heard a voice within him saying, "Is this all there is? Is this all life has to offer?" And so the hero decided to find the source of that voice. His journey led him to the edge of the city where stood an ancient temple. Inside the temple sat a woman of unearthly beauty. Her eyes were filled with ancient wisdom, and her gaze seemed to penetrate the very essence of the hero. She was called the priestess, and her presence exuded power and mystery. When the hero entered the temple and approached the priestess, she spoke in a voice that echoed with eternity. "Why have you come here, traveler?" The hero, unable to understand the turmoil within him, replied, "I have come because I heard a voice calling me." The priestess nodded her head slowly, as if comprehending something that was hidden from the hero himself. "That was your inner voice, the voice of your true self. It has been calling you all along, urging you to awaken." The hero felt a surge of emotion at these words, a mixture of hope and fear. "But how can I awaken?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. "You must remove the mask, traveler, and show the world your true face," the priestess replied. "Only then will you truly live." These words struck the hero like a thunderbolt. He had never thought that the life he was living was not his own. Now he felt a strong desire to break free from the shackles that bound him. However, doubt still lingered in his heart. But what if the world isn't ready to accept my true self? What if it's too different, too unusual? The hero asked hesitantly. The priestess looked at him for a long time, and in her gaze, the hero saw not judgment, but understanding and compassion. "Your true self cannot be rejected, traveler, because it is part of the great harmony of the universe. You are not separate from the world, you are part of it. And everything in you and around you is interconnected." The hero pondered these words, realizing the depth of their meaning. He understood that his true self was an integral part of the world, and by hiding it, he was essentially rejecting a part of himself. But still, he couldn't bring himself to take off his mask. It symbolized his old life, his old identity. And to expose his true face to the world seemed terrifying. The priestess, sensing the hero's struggle, spoke softly, "Remove the mask, traveler, and embrace your true self. Only then will you find peace." With a deep breath, the hero reached out to take off his mask. As soon as the mask left his face, the world around him changed. The colors became more vibrant, the sounds more harmonious, and he felt an overwhelming sense of freedom. It was as if he had been living in a dream and had just woken up. But suddenly the ground began to shake and the sky darkened. A powerful wind swept through the city, causing the masks of the people to fall to the ground one by one. They were all identical, empty, lifeless. The hero realized that these masks represented not just their outer appearance, but also their souls, which had become empty and devoid of individuality. This revelation filled him with determination. He knew that he could not remain in the city any longer, for it was a place of illusions, a prison of souls. So the hero decided to leave the city. But as he stepped beyond the city limits, the earth split open and a huge stone idol emerged from it. Its eyes blazed with an ominous light, and its expression was one of utter indifference to the suffering of people. It was clear to the hero that this idol personified the spirit of this city, the spirit of illusion and social convention. And the idol began to speak in a voice that shook the very foundations of the hero's being. "Who do you think you are to leave this city? You are a part of it, and you cannot escape it." The hero stood firm, despite the idol's menacing words. "I am leaving because I want to be myself, not a puppet of social conventions and illusions," he declared. The idol laughed, a sound that echoed with cruelty. "You are mistaken, hero. There is no difference between your true self and the image you create. You are nothing more than a reflection of the world. You cannot exist without it." These words struck the hero like a physical blow. He realized that the idol was right. While wearing the mask, he had indeed become a part of this city, a slave to its rules and traditions. And now he was afraid to remove his mask, for it meant losing a part of himself. But then the hero remembered the words of the priestess. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and when he opened them again, they blazed with newfound determination. "You may be right, but I don't want to live that way anymore. I choose to be myself, even if it means starting from scratch." With that, the hero took off his mask and threw it at the feet of the idol. "Take it, O spirit of illusion. I am done with your games." The idol seemed to hesitate, surprised by the hero's actions. For a moment, its expression became distorted, as if in pain. Then it let out a deafening roar and attacked the hero. In fact, the idol didn't attack the hero, but the hero felt threatened and tried to defend himself. And thus began a fierce battle between the hero and the embodiment of illusions. The hero fought not just with his body, but with his whole being, with his soul. Every strike he landed on the idol was a step towards his liberation, towards his true self. The battle raged, and the outcome was uncertain. But the hero fought on, driven by the desire to break free from the shackles of the past. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The hero, wounded but unbroken, stood before the fallen idol. His eyes, once blazing with power, were now dull and lifeless. The victory was his, but the hero's joy was short-lived. For as he turned to leave, he saw the priestess standing there, and in her hands, he recognized his mask, the mask that symbolized his former self. But now it was ashen and lifeless. The priestess approached the hero, and without a word handed him the mask. The hero looked at it, then at the priestess. And in that moment, he understood. She had been with him all along, not just in that city of illusions, but in his life, in his soul. She was the voice within him that had called him to awaken. She was the strength that had helped him endure the battle. And most importantly, she was the embodiment of his true self, the self he had been seeking all along. As the hero gazed into the priestess's eyes, he saw his own reflection, not as he had been, but as he truly was. In that moment, he realized that he had found himself, or perhaps it was more accurate to say that he had always been himself. He had just forgotten it. Together, the hero and the priestess walked away from the ruins of the city of illusions, leaving behind the crumbling remnants of the old world. Their silhouettes, outlined against the backdrop of the rising sun, symbolized hope and the promise of a new dawn. The story of the hero and the priestess is a story of self-discovery and liberation. It is a reminder that the truest battles are those fought within ourselves. It is a testament to the power of authenticity and the courage it takes to embrace one's true self. Tell us what you think of this story in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family who could use this legend to help them find their true selves. Thanks for watching. See you next time.